Hello everyone, this is Jay. So this is going to be a very quick video. I'm going to show you how to scrape websites with the Python library Beautiful Soup. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is obviously create a file. As you can see, I created a file. It's called script, very descriptive name as you can tell. And then you need to import the library Beautiful Soup. So we're going to say from BS4, and this is the name of the library. It's not bullshit 4, it's Beautiful Soup version 4. And then you say from Beautiful Soup import view soup. Okay, and then we're going to need another library called request. So this is basically to make HTTP request. You don't need this library, you can use any other library, but this is one of the most popular libraries in Python for HTTP request, making HTTP request. You don't even have to use Python to make HTTP requests. You can use curl and save the result in a separate document and then open them in Python and feed them to Beautiful Soup, but that's a long operation. I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to do import request, and I'm going to request. So let's scrape some websites. So I thought maybe why not scraping the Beautiful Soup website itself. It's a very simplistic website. Small, it's mostly text-based website, so let's do that. So I'm gonna do result. I'm gonna assign the results or the response of the HTTP request. So request.get, and this is the URL to the website. And then let's check if results dot status code equal to 200 print good request. Okay, so now that is done, let's run the application and see what we get. So I'm gonna do, so basically you need to say Python, the version of Python 3, and the file name script.py, and it's gonna throw an error module, no module name PS4. Because you need to install, this is a third-party library, you need to install it using pip. Okay, so let's do that. So with Python 3 -m install, you need to say pip install. Okay, and we say PS4, which again stands for Beautiful Soup version 4, not bullshit. Okay, and normal people ask me why do you need the add -m flag over here. So basically, to explain this, you know how other operating systems have multiple versions of Python. Mostly they have like 2.7 and 3 point something, 3.6. So when you put the Python version over here, Python 3, and then the -m flag, that tells Python what version of pip to use, because Python may have other versions of pip. Okay, so this just tells Python to use the appropriate version of pip for the current Python version. Sudo, we need to have the sudo command over here, and then let's run this. This is gonna install. Good. All right, So let's run the script again. Alright, and this says good request. So we're almost there. So now that we made the request and it's good, let me show you what we actually get from the request. So let's do result dot content. Okay, so this will print basically the response body, the HTML. Okay, so oops, not print, Python. Where is the, okay, Python script. And this is all the HTML. Okay, so normally this is when we make a request in the browser, this is what we get, and the browser parse this and parse it and display it in the browser, okay? But when we make requests through the terminal or any other tool that is not the browser, this is what we get. We get just jargon HTML, okay? Not formatted or anything. So we are going to take this, and with Beautiful Soup, we're going to parse it and make it something that is more readable for humans, okay? So we're going to print, not print actually, we're going to say Beautiful Soup, and then the Beautiful Soup takes two arguments. One is the document itself, or the HTML results. So we can say result dot content. This is the first argument, and the second argument is the parser library. So Beautiful Soup allows you to use multiple libraries, different libraries to parse the HTML. And the reason is because some HTML, parsing libraries are faster than others. Some are more accurate and bring better result than others, but slower. Okay, so this is why it lets you you decide yourself what kind of library you want to use. So one library in particular that I'm using is called HTML 5lib. It is a fairly slow library, but it'll do the job. It's not really that slow, but it's very accurate and good. So let's assign the result to a variable called HTML, because this is what we're gonna get from the Beautiful Soup over here. So we're gonna the result will be an HTML object that will have all the HTML. So if we print it, I'll have all the HTML formatted. So let's run the document and I'll show you. So as you can see now, the HTML output is more formatted and looks better already. And if you want it to even look even better, there is a method called prettier, I think called prettify, not pretty, prettify. Yeah, let's save and let's run it again. Yes, and as you can see, it looks a little better and more readable. Okay, so now that is done. So what if we want to find something in the HTML code? What if we want to find something on the websites? Let's say, let me pull the website and let me make it bigger. So let's say we want to find this link over here. So what we can do is right click and inspect element over here. So let me see. Let me pull this up, and this is the HTML element. So it's an anchor tag. So you can find this element by doing. So let's go back to our script. So if you want to find this element, so you would say HTML dot anchor tag. All right, and this will give you the first anchor tag that matches your request. Okay, So if we run this, let me see. You see it gives us the first link, the first anchor tag that matches our query, basically. So, but what if we need to find another one, like a specific one? So what you can do, you can say HTML dot find, and you can say anchor tag over here, and this will do basically the same. It will find the first one. Okay, so we said if you want to find the anchor tag, we can do that. And over here, so we already found the anchor tag, but if we want to find the href only, the basically href attributes, the value of the href attributes, we can just say print a, and then I don't know why this is over here on HTML. Okay, I have them. Okay, so we what we doing over here is first we find this HTML anchor tag, and then we get the href attributes of that HTML. So if we save it, go over here, run it now again. So basically now you see we printed only the download link over here. So you see it's over here. Instead of printing everything in here, we are printing only the href attributes. If you want the text, only the text. So what you can do is HTML.a. Okay, so we are operating on the same anchor tag basically, and then we say .get text. Okay, and then we go over here again, and then over here the first one is getting the download link, just the link, not the whole anchor tag. And the second one we get in the text, basically the text inside the anchor tag, whatever text we have inside of it. And as you can see, we have beautiful soup. This is the text that inside of it, and it's printing over here. We can also, not using this method, there's another method called get. Okay, so basically you say print HTML and with the anchor tag, and this is always going to find only the first result that matches your request. Okay, so you can say .get, okay, and whatever we want to get from this anchor tag. So we want the href, and this will do the same thing as the one above. Okay, so let's fix this HTML, save it. Alright, let's run it again, and this will do just the exact same. Okay, it did not. Get href. I spelled it wrong. Okay, let's do it one more time. And as you can see, it's just the same result as the one over here. Okay. So now that this is done, what if we need to find different specific anchor tag with like specific elements, just to say like something else, right? We have two options. We have actually more than two options. We have a lot of options. Okay. We can do a lot of stuff. So what you can do actually is you can give it over here an ID or ID, and if the element you're looking for have an ID, you can specify it in here, and it'll look for the ID. Or you can give it a class to look for. If basically your element has a class, a CSS class or an ID, you can just say class. Actually, let's go to the website and see if they have something that we can pull. So let's see this over here. Okay, so let's inspect. I think this is not gonna work over here because we don't have any classes or anything in this website. It's basically just HTML. They don't even have any CSS in this website. So, but one thing you can use is, so let's say over here, let's say some class, and this will work. If there is an element with this class name, it will go and find it for you. Okay, and this find, okay, it'll find the first element that matches this this over here, this condition over here, right? So if we run this, it obviously it's gonna turn none because it does not, there's nothing on the web page that have the class something. Okay, but if there was, it will return the first element that matches this query or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so however, moving on, so what if we want to print all basically the same thing, but we want to print all the result that matches this this condition over here that we're looking for? So what you can do is print HTML.find and all. That's all you need to do. This is another method called all, and this is just the same. Now over here you can just say class and some class. Okay, this is just the same as the one above with the find, but this one will return all the elements that matches the condition, whereas the one above will return the first element that matches the condition. Alright, so you can also provide an ID if you want, or you can provide an you can also not just you can find something just like in CSS. You can do dot and the class name, like for example, say dot and the class name, let's say blue or something. So you will find all the elements with the class name blue. Okay, instead of saying underscore class equal to something, you can just do it this way. Or you can find an element, find an element by the tag. So if you want to find a paragraph, we would say P. If you want to find an image, we would say img. If you want to find let's see, a div, we would say a div. Okay, so it's just like that. So now let me show you something useful to really use this. So let's say we want to find all the anchor tags. So now let's find all the anchor tags, and I'm gonna comment these out. Okay, and print all the anchor tags to the screen. And this is going to print all the anchor tags, as you can see, to the screen. So this is not useful, not helpful really. Let's format them. Let's format these anchor tags so we can see them better. So we can say we're going to loop over everything inside. So basically this will return a list of all the matching elements. Okay, all the matching results. Okay, so it's going to be a list of all the anchor tags on the website. So we can do a tag in HTML dot find all anchor. Okay, so for each HTML anchor tag in this list that is returned from this over here, we're going to do something. So we're going to print. So we're going to print it to the screen. But before we print it, we need to convert this tag into a string, because right now it is another type. It's not actually a string. So we do str, the method str, and we give it the tag, and then I'm gonna concatenate it with a new line, basically, so we can see it better. I think this is for the new line, or this. I think this is for the new line. And now let's save. Let's move this, and let's run it again, and this should be better. As you can see, it's a lot better. It's way better formatted. So now that we got all the links, we can save them to another file and visit them later if we want to. But I actually don't want to display it like this. What if we want so I'm gonna move the string, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get only the href from each of these tags. So only the value of the attributes. So if I run this, I'm gonna get only the links over here inside the attribute. Okay. Some of them will not have an attribute, and this will throw an error. So if I try, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get an error. So as you can see, some of them did print over here. If you look, http code launchpad.net, and some of them and over here it throw an error because href do not exist on some of them. So if you look at these over here, the result, some of them have name. They don't have href attributes. They just have name attributes. So that's why it throw an error. So you just got to be careful. So one more thing, I can say the tag.get text. Okay, so I can just get just the text. I don't want the links or anything. I just want the text where what the text of the link says. Okay, if I'm interested, maybe I'll visit the link. Okay, so let's run it again, and this will print only the text. As you can see, this is the text file, bugs, or whatever. So yeah, it's pretty helpful library for scraping. If you're interested, you can come to the documentation over here. It's very helpful. Documentation will explain everything. They have very good examples. And there is also another library called HTML requests. And this library basically is the same as Beautiful Soup, but in this library, this one over here, is trying to combine both the HTTP request and the HTML, the Beautiful Soup library, all together in one library. So you don't have to reach out for the request HTTP library, Python request HTTP library. So in this library, you just import it, and basically they have everything inside the library. They have the HTTP request and everything. So you can make requests, you can parse the HTML and stuff. So it's just like a framework. Everything is put together for you, and you just have to use them. Whereas the Beautiful Soup, you have to reach out for the request library to make HTTP request, and then you have to feed it to a Beautiful Soup, and then you can use the output, whatever output you have. Alright, this is all I got today. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you and have a nice one.